Hey guys, I just got home from watching Iron Lung. It is 11:58 and I'm excited to spell. Now, this is going to be spoiler free from a bit, but we will be going into spoilers later on, but I will let you know. Um I would have seen this movie yesterday when it actually released, but I made a little mistake and I'll tell you later on that and what ended up happening. But we ended up getting the 7 o'clock 30 showing today as of January 30th, and it was good. Iron Lung is good. Now, is it Oscar worthy? No, I don't think so. But it's good. The CGI for it being baked in his bathroom, pretty damn good. The story, really good, but warning, it is a slow burn movie, which means it's at a slower pace. Um, the first, I don't know, 45 minutes of it are gonna feel really slow. It is a 2 hour and 7 minute movie, and it jumps right into it. I mean, like, like the cinema went from ads like with the lights on to lights off immediately into the story. There's no I mean there is some there's epilogue that explains, oh, the universe, blah 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 blah, and then we get into, but it's like within the first 2 minutes you're already getting into the story. It's really good on that aspect for getting into it, and the end of the movie is so abrupt. Ugh. I was like, oh, yep, done. Um, but again, it's a really good movie, independently funded by Mark himself. Got a little help from some people in Hollywood to get him thrown into all these theaters. The theater that I went to was packed for a day 2 on showing, because technically previews were on the 29th, which is when I was supposed to go. And I'll go ahead and tell you now. I didn't read the ticket. I purchased the tickets months ago. Months ago, when it was originally announced. And I was looking at all the promotional material, and I'm like, oh yeah, it comes out on the 30th. So me and my buddy, we're scheduled, let's go to the movies on the 30th. Newsflash, it was on the 29th. And we ended up missing the movie. Now, thankfully, the movie theater honored our tickets, and we went ahead and waited for the 7:30 showing, which was well worth the wait. And I actually got to have some good talk time in between instead of just movie and done. This movie is really good. Now, they lean into this movie. If you've ever seen, I guess this isn't really spoiler, but it's like eldritch horror type feel. Oh, also, it's classified as a scary movie. It's not scary. It's edgy. It's bloody. I think it holds the record for the most amount of blood ever used in a movie. But it's not scary. As someone who doesn't watch many horror stuff or scary stuff, I was a bit amazed that the horror YouTuber didn't really get you jumping. And this is for context. I watched FNAF 2 and I got jump scared. I know. Buckle up the seatbelt, guys. We're going on a roller coaster. And it's just the Patrick SpongeBob little, yeah, that's me. But I was not scared this movie, which in a way I was disappointed. I was kind of walking into it in the hopes of opening a new alley of movie tastes, and I don't think it did. But then again, that wasn't the point of the movie. The point of the movie was kind of having finally a good game adaptation, and also breaking the stereotypes of like cheesy YouTuber products. But there was several moments in the movie where I found myself saying, "What?" Not in the fact of what in the story is happening, but what on screen is happening. There's many times that it gets a little too dark. I know it's a dark movie, but it gets a little too dark, especially one of the end scenes. Again, I'm going to say this in a way that isn't spoiling. The screen is, yeah, I mean, the lighting's dark, you know, the lights aren't as bright as they would be, you know, in normal conditions. And the camera pans to something in the left corner. The camera work was so, it wasn't really so fast. It was like, bam, there's the corner, but it's so dark you don't know what it is, and then bam, it's back on Mark. And then he grabs whatever it is. You still don't know what it is because you can't see it. And then it pans to his hands and he's fiddling with something. Again, you don't know what the fuck he's fiddling with. You don't know what the fuck he's doing because it's too damn dark to see what the hell is happening. Now, that doesn't take away from the scene. The scene's really good. And honestly, the ending could have been slowed down a little. For a movie, I know. The movie I'm telling you is a slow movie. It wraps up very fast. It was like, it's like, the movie's 2 hours 7 long. I guarantee you the last 10 minutes was just the ending. Maybe even the 7 minutes. It's like 2 hours of idle and then bam, you know, the end. Really satisfying end though. I do like how they ended it. I mean, I wouldn't say satisfying, but in a way, I wish they would have left it so Mark could do more. I was kind of hoping he would open the door to doing a continuation on the same project, because I would go see another one. I would, but I guess not. With the ending that they give, it kind of teased for another, but the probability is not there. But I doubt Mark is the type of person to do sequels. But at times also, so, you know, he's in this sub, you know, if you haven't watched the trailer, you know, I'm just saying stuff that's in the trailer. There's a person over the intercom. That's his form of contact to other characters in this movie. At times it becomes hard to understand. I wouldn't say it is, you can't understand them. You very much can, but it just makes you listen in on that dialogue that is happening more than you kind of want to, just to understand it. There are on occasions that somebody says something over the intercom and you're like, huh? You can hear the emotion, you know the intent, but you don't know the words because of the either what's happening on screen and whatever other effects are happening, or just the filter that they had on the people's voices just, you know, covered it a little too much for my liking. And so it's just, I just feel like they could go, if they ever go to release this on like physical or onto like a streaming service, or if he releases it onto YouTube, the movie could use a little bit of highlights, a little bit of changes. But overall, yet again, an amazing movie. All the actors did a really good job, especially for what it was. I think it was like a $3.6 million budget, and they made their money back just in preview sales. This movie is probably going to be one of the highest grossing indie films, or is this considered? I don't know. To probably ever release, which is very good. I hope more indie studios get the recognition from this, maybe spark a new age of indie studio movies, instead of these big corporations trying to leech us from our pockets like Disney, Paramount, and all of them. Another thing that I had to gripe about, not too big of a gripe, but just before we go into spoilers, the camera work at times got a little too shaky. Even though this, like, normally you shake the cam just to save money from CGI, so it's less clear. But the scene that they use the shaky cam, or they abuse the shaky cam, is a scene with a lot of practical effects, and I don't get it. You're really left, huh, because you kind of know what's happening, but it's like, I can't see shit. A movie's a visual experience, and it's not showing the story it's telling. Now, but I think this might be a good section to go over to spoilers. So if you're not wanting to get spoiled at all, this is your warning. So click off now. Come back once you've watched the movie. Going into spoilers, it's mostly to do with the final scenes. Earlier, I was talking about how it got too dark, and in the final scene, there is a pan to the life vest in the corner. Now, I had to deduce this from the later scenes that it shows what he was actually doing. So the camera pans to, I think it's the right, I'm sorry, and it pans to the life vest. That was earlier shown in the movie. He throws it out like a gag, like, why the fuck do I have this? And he has the box with the data. And the camera pans to that life vest. It's so dark, I didn't even know it was the life vest till it was floating on the surface. He grabs it, he's tying, you see he's fiddling with something. He has the box, you can see it, but you don't know what the fuck he's fiddling. You don't know, I didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I didn't know he was tying the life vest to the box so it could float to the surface once the thing got crushed. And it's just, I mean, that kind of took away from me. And then when the ship's filling up with blood, the camera shake it's like, what? He's stumbling around, but it's like, come on. I do want to praise the CGI. I know I said earlier it was really good. The monster that crushes the ship, oh my gosh. That is such a cool scene. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. It is... Chefs, I was not expecting an out-of-cam experience with that scene. I was expecting it'd be Mark going, and then you see everything collapse. I was expecting that. I was not expecting the outer view where you see the monster and then clamp on it. It was like 2 bites. And then I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think some of its teeth break off when it does finally bite down on it. One of the scenes that I really like the character writing, and I could kind of relate to, is the scene where he is, for the first time in the movie, he's lugged up to the surface, and they're downloading the pictures onto the computers after he finds the skeleton underwater. Well, we get a little moment where he's finally brought to the surface after finding the skeleton. He then, after having a little moment of betrayal with the lady that keeps betraying him, smart guy, get out. no, you're not. Just hold on. But he, lobs a heaping heat load of radiation at them without knowing is a nice it adds a touch of humanity. I feel like that's something that would genuinely happen. The negligent workers, working on the outside with a very dangerous picture system that they know shoots radiation, and they did not tell the guy, and he pushes the button to take a picture to hopefully, blind them because you think it's a traditional picture. No, they get blasted with radiation and they have cancer now. They got bad cancer. Which in a way, rightfully so. Because you bring me up, bring me back. Well, maybe, yeah, maybe we can get you free, but I can't guarantee you freedom. But we can get you, yeah. Gives him a heaping dose of radiation, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And honestly, the lady was kind of chill about it and was very passive aggressive about it, which is really weird. I know she gave like a big reaction, but I would have expected more of a violent one. If I knew I was given stage 4 cancer shotgunned in my face, I would be a little bit more, pissed than tell that to my tumors, you know? Not that I'm nitpicking the story. It was just one of those things I was like, I wouldn't be as fine with that as you are. I mean, I feel like after that moment, the future times she is on the intercom, she doesn't sound sickly. I mean, she's not like coughing like she's dying or something. They say one of the mechanics is like really ill and practically can't work, but says nothing about her who physically got blasted too. So, I don't know. I don't know about that. But also, one of the other things that I would have liked to see done a little better is the camera work when in the initial attacks on the ship. At the beginning, towards the beginning, when he's down there, he finds the skeleton, but now there's this big old monster and he's getting banged around, and you see Mark gets flung, like he's bam against the wall and then bam against another wall, and then he gets slammed. Well, the camera is mounted like, okay, so in production, the set is just one big piece and it's sitting on this like this motion sim. The camera should have been somebody in there with him or on like a gyro or something to simulate the actual motion of getting hit, because all it looks like from the camera angle, like you hear the hit, but it's just Mark going, whoa, whoa. I mean, they're violent falls and stuff. Don't get me wrong. But you get no degree of, you get no shake. It's just like me randomly going, whoa, whoa, but there's no camera tilt. There's none of that. And it just feels a little wonky with, how he's being thrown around and you not seeing it really being displayed on camera. Now, I know, again, low budget, but this movie has really good cinematography. And I would have thought that would have, but that's just probably the weakest point, but that weak point is very good. One of the scenes that I absolutely love from this movie is is some of the shots that, you know, they're doing a bunch of panning, and he's finally getting used to driving the submarine, and he's navigating, and they just have scenes where he's just twisting knobs, pushing the lever back and forth, cranking the direction dial, and it's just such seamless transitions. Like, there was times where I was like, whoa, we changed shots? Like, really good. Like, this is gonna sound bad, but like TikTok car editor quality. You know what I'm talking about. Those really insane camera shots. That's present in this movie. It's good. It's really good. One of the things that they didn't really explain too much was, it was really weird. At the end of the movie, there's like this weird goop that the Leviathan like controls or whatever, and it's like this fungus or decay or whatever. But the Leviathan has control over it, but they don't really explain it. It just kind of happens. It shows he's infected at one point. You see the goop building as the movie goes on, but towards the end, I mean, he sticks his hand on something, and then the other side, like the vines like veins grab him, and he's like stuck, and he gets one hand off. But it's like, it doesn't really explain the goop, and then the goop had put itself so it's constantly pushing the button. Like earlier in the movie, Mark taped the button so it would constantly be choo, choo, choo. But the goop had done it for him. What? Yeah, that to me didn't really make sense. I mean, it was a good source of light for the scene, which is what they mostly used the camera for in this movie. Is they use the camera as a lighting tool, which is very cool in some shots. Where he initially has to go down underneath to start back up his engine, really cool. Really, really, really cool, and very well done. I would have liked to see more nitty-gritty fiddling with the ship, because, you know, there's like all these different secret notes. See if you can find more, because he finds one earlier on. I'm just shocked he didn't try to find more. But there probably wasn't any more. But, you know, you'd think he'd get curious. He's like, oh, I'm trapped in here, but there's like notes tucked away somewhere. Oh, let's see if we can go find it. Maybe that might help me. But, yeah. So that's give or take my rant on the movie. I love it very much, very much. Markiplier did an amazing job. This movie is really good. I would say if you have 2 hours and 7 minutes, go watch it. It's not for everyone. It is a slow burn. It is a slow movie. If you cannot take slow movies, do not do this movie. You'll be asleep until the second act. Okay? I mean, I guess you won't be asleep. But it's slow burn. Just know it's slow burn going into it. I mean, wait, if you're watching this part, this is a spoiler. You've already watched it. Rewatch it. I'm on to you. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my review on Iron Lung. And next video should be coming out sometime. Not too sure. I don't know if I'm going to continue the Subnautica series. It's been a pain to edit. So, much love, and I'll be seeing you in the next video and stream, because I am on Twitch. So, see ya. Bye.